Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Be Amplified podcast. I'm Amy Patee. Thanks for being here. And if you are brand new, this is a show for conscious, soulful female entrepreneurs who want to let their energy lead in their business. And this month on the show, I am guiding you through a variety of exercises to help you wrap up 2025 so that you can step into 2026 with clarity and direction and a sense of flow and ease. So if you are dropping in for the first time within this series, the last 3 episodes are part of the series. And I'll give you a quick little recap of where we've been. So in the first episode, 3 episodes back, I guided you to do a 2025 year in review exercise to help you just really understand what happened in 2025 so that you can bring some closure to this past year. And then in the next episode, I guided you into the present moment and had you do a little assessment about where are you? Where are you right now? Where is your business right now? Is it expansive? Does it feel restrictive? Just really taking in the present moment and understanding your current location, your current business reality. And then last week was the exciting part. We did some vision casting for 2026, and your job was to sit down and journal, dream big, really bring out all of your big ideas for the next year. And then today we are going to do some desire mapping. We're going to dive deeper into one desire that you have for 2026 for your business, one big goal that you want to manifest. And we're going to be exploring this goal and beginning to cultivate the internal frequency, the internal somatic feeling state that will help your entire organism, your entire being, really understand that this goal, this dream, this desire is possible. And that on a frequency level, it is already here with you. When we generate the feeling state inside of us, we are creating this vibrational frequency of alignment with what we want. And I really feel like it is one of the key ingredients to manifesting something new in your life, something that you've never had before, maybe even something that scares you or something that you think, gosh, I don't know if I'm ever going to actually be able to have this in my life or in my business. Being able to cultivate the internal frequency of having that can begin to help you feel safe having it. It can begin to help you feel like it's possible. It's not so unfamiliar or out of your comfort zone. So this is a really useful practice. It's a powerful practice, and it's something that I've been using now for probably maybe like the last 10 years. And I learned this process of desire mapping from a woman named Danielle Laporte. You could Google her, look her up. She has a book on desire mapping, and this is where I first learned this process. And back in the day, I was doing manifestation work, like most people do. Maybe at the new year, I would think about, what do I want to create? What kind of partner do I want to manifest in my life? What kind of work do I want to draw in? What kind of money do I want to make? The usual things. And for example, let's say with the partner, I would often, be like, well, here's my list. Here's my list of all of the things that I want my partner, my future partner to have. He has to be like this. He has to be like this. That was kind of my process that I had learned up until that point. And then I was introduced to desire mapping, and it just completely changed the whole manifestation game because it became more about, what do I want to feel when I'm with my future partner? How am I going to feel in relationship with this person? And it just changed the manifestation game. So that's what I want to guide you to do today with one of your business goals. This could be an income goal. It could be the goal of launching a new product or maybe acquiring a certain number of new clients. But you want to first have that goal, have that desire, know what that is. And again, last week's exercise of just doing kind of big picture dreaming should have helped you come up with a few things that you want to manifest in your business in 2026. Pick one of those, pick one that really excites you, and bring it into today's episode, bring it into this moment. And we're going to zoom in on it and we're going to do some desire mapping around it. And I'll guide you through this process. And I'm going to really just share with you how I do this process. So I have my one desire, my one goal. And what I like to do is have a big sheet of sketch paper. You can do this on your computer, but there is something that's a little different about using your hand and having, a pencil or a marker, whatever you're using, and actually, writing with your hand. Something different happens. It just feels more potent to me. And so you do you, explore what you want to explore, but you could try this out if you want. So you have a big piece of paper and you're going to write your goal, your one desire down on this paper. If you had 10 desires or 10 goals that you want to manifest in the new year, great. You can do each of those, but pick one for this exercise. So whatever feels most alive for you that you're most excited about, you're going to write that down. And personally, again, I'll just share my process. I write it down right in the center of the paper. Draw a big circle around it or a heart around it. And it might be something like, my income goal, or, maybe it's about a new offering that I'm creating, whatever it is. You pick it, write it down, and then you are going to begin writing all over this piece of paper how having that desire manifest, how reaching that goal, right, fulfilling that goal, making it happen, is going to make you feel, how you believe it will make you feel. And you just start to write down whatever comes up for you. And I like to write it, like I said, all over the piece of paper. It's like I free write. There will be single words. There will be statements. So just start to really relate to that goal, that desire, and just get out whatever is coming up for you. How are you going to feel when that desire is manifest, when that goal is reached? And what you'll notice as you begin to write down these statements, these words, is that typically there's, a few words or a few statements that feel really resonant to you. And at this point, you want to slow the process down, because this is a process that brings you into feeling and brings you into vibrational alignment with what it is that you want. So as you start writing, get kind of the initial stuff out and then slow way down and go to one of your statements or one of your words. So I'm going to give you an example. So let's say it's my income goal. I'm working with my income goal. I write it down in the center of my paper, and then I start to write down, how I think I'm going to feel when I'm making, let's say, 10K a month or something like that. And I think I'm going to feel like I'm overflowing. I'm overflowing with excitement about that. So I write that down, overflowing with excitement. Pick one of your statements, one of your words, and then you go deeper into that statement. So I'll sit with that statement. Again, I'm slowing down. I'm sitting with that statement of overflowing with excitement. And I ask myself, how does that feel? How does that feel to be overflowing with excitement? And remember, this hooks me back to the desire to make 10K a month. How does it feel to be overflowing with excitement, Amy? Ooh, it feels effervescent. It feels like I'm literally like this bubbly energy is bubbling up inside of me and kind of overflowing. And it's exciting and it makes me feel giddy. So I'm going to start to write that down. And then again, I'm slowing down my process. I'm pausing because I really need to feel into it. How does that feel, Amy? How does it feel to be effervescent? How does it feel to be bubbling, have this excited, giddy energy bubbling up inside of me, overflowing in an effervescent way. That feels really fun. Ooh, okay. Well, how does it feel to be fun? How does fun feel? Ooh, fun feels magical. Ooh, well, how does magical feel? Ooh, magical feels like anything is possible. Ooh, okay, well, how does anything is possible feel? Anything is possible feels like I'm the creator of my reality. Wow, okay, well, how does that feel, Amy? How does it feel to be the creator of your reality? And it feels like I am wealthy beyond what the money in my bank account could ever reveal to me. It's a wealth beyond physical wealth. Ooh, okay, so that's powerful. So I think you're getting the idea, but this is the process. And what it does is it takes you deeper and deeper into the refined vibration, the refined frequency that you need to feel in your system, in your cells, in your tissues, in your brain, and of course, in your energy to support the manifestation of this goal. And you may not want to slow it down as much as you need to, but that is the key element here is the slowed down process, allowing you to really go inward and feel. We are trying to move much deeper than I feel happy. I feel calm. I feel peaceful. We're trying to become more nuanced than that. And you heard me moving through the process. And I was actually doing that process in real time. I was describing what I was sensing and feeling and kind of seeing with my mind's eye. And I would even go deeper beyond, where I left it, beyond that feeling of wealth, beyond physical wealth. I would keep going until I start repeating myself. So maybe I would get back to effervescent, or I would get back to being, anything is possible, whatever the feeling state was. But when you start to revert back to one of the things that you've already said, you know that you are golden. You've hit the mark. And that particular word or statement, that's one that you want to highlight or circle on the page. And ideally, you come up with like 3 to 5 powerful words or statements that really are indicating the very specific frequency that you want to dial into within yourself, right? Your cells, your energy, you want to dial them into this particular frequency because this particular frequency connects you to the station, the radio station, the goal, the desire of, that you put down on your paper. In my instance, the income goal. And doing it once can completely kind of reset how your life unfolds. I have had this happen. But in most cases, you'll want to keep coming back to that frequency, even if it's like once a week, or maybe it's for the first few weeks of the new year. But what you're doing is you are getting familiar with that frequency. You're feeling into it maybe a few times to really get comfortable with that frequency, get to know it so that it just feels normal inside of you. And if you're walking around as if you are wealthy beyond what we think of as physical wealth, right? I'm just using my example here, but if I walk around with that frequency alive inside of me, you know what's going to start to happen? That's what the external world is going to start to reflect back to me. Because the world around us often mirrors what we are vibrating on the inside. It mirrors what we believe about ourselves, about others, about the world. So this desire mapping exercise is golden. It is so powerful. And I know I've said that about the last 3 exercises, but this is my go-to. This is something that I do multiple times a year, whenever I'm feeling a little out of alignment or a little off, or if I just feel like I need to course correct, I will do this desire mapping process. And so give it a try. And hopefully from what I shared with you, that gave you enough to work with. If not, shoot me an email, ask me more questions. I'm here for it. I'm here to help you and support you. But give it a try and see what comes through. And just understand that you're doing a little energy work on yourself, and you are deciding what you are going to create in your life by changing consciously your inner energy, the frequency that you are vibrating. It's quite powerful. It's pretty powerful, right? This is when we step into being the creator of our own lives, and it's a powerful thing. Okay, so give that practice a try. Desire mapping. Remember, you can look up Danielle Laporte if you want and check out her desire mapping book. I just want to give her some creds since that is where I originally learned this practice, and it's been with me for so many years. It's really helped me become clear about where I'm headed and what I want and how it will actually feel in my nervous system, in my body, in my energy to have that, right? Because lots of times we are dreaming up things that we've never experienced before, and our nervous system might interpret having those things as unsafe. So we can prime ourselves, we can prime our systems and get ourselves ready for what's to come our way. And as always, if you want extra support, if you're feeling the need for more support with stepping into a new vision for yourself and your business, reach out. My one-on-one mentorship is open right now for enrollment. I will be side by side with you as you begin to elevate your business. And if you are curious about joining a group experience, check out my Human Design in Business Immersion. My next one is launching in the new year. I would love to have you be a part of that. It's a really fun group to be a part of, and you get to go deep and decode your human design and begin to align your natural essential energy in your business. Really good work to do. Okay, that's all I've got today, and we have one more episode coming out in this series, so stay tuned for next week's episode where we will wrap up this little series, and hopefully you will feel ready for 2026 and for what's to come in the new year. Okay, I'll catch you then. Bye.